going to be kind of hard. I was asked to read something from the New Testament, and I chose Ephesians 6:13. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God. Whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. We are still standing. That is who you are. Keep standing. Land and get up so you can stand again.
Amen and amen. Thank you, Sister Yellow Hat. And thank you, Sister Blue Hat. I know this is a difficult time for all of you. But I want you to know that your growing is not in vain. Sometimes there is a crack in a door. And before the door closes, if you're smart, you can wedge your foot in the door. And if you apply what they've been calling it, a little pressure, you can position yourself to get your knee through the crack. All right? If you get your knee in the crack, there's a strong possibility you could put a little thigh meat in the crack. And if you get a thigh in the crack, I feel strongly that sometimes when your snacks get stuck in the vending machine, stay with me, and it looks like it is hopeless. Sometimes we'll take our hip and bump it. And if you bump it just right, it'll come all the way down. So I'm saying to those who think their door has been closed, this ain't even in my sermon. Put your foot in the crack. And once you get your foot wedged in the crack, put a little knee on it. If you get your knee in the crack, I can imagine that Sister Schelle had a knee in the crack of the door. And her confidence had her throw a little thigh meat in the crack. And as she got all the way up to the cut right there where her pelvic meets her thigh, that was an opportunity for her to throw her hip. Sometimes you gotta throw a hip in it to get where you need to be. I got any hip throwers in the congregation? I'm just asking the question, where my hip throwers at? If you feel like when you slide it in there, you position yourself good enough just to throw a little hip. I need my hip throwers to say it's in my hips. You thought it was in your foot because you got your foot through the crack. No, brothers and sisters, sometimes it's your hips. And brothers, you are not left out. Because just as God made woman, he started with you. And guess what, brother? You got some hips too. Sometimes you got to throw a little hip in it. Amen? Well, I better stop. Madam Manager is looking at me like it ain't time for that yet. Madam Manager, you can come on up.
Thank you, Pastor. I appreciate that. It's nice to be amongst a faithful following group. I am Shelle's manager, so I was asked to do a few words of encouragement. Here's what I have for you today. It meant a lot to Schelle to get to 50,000 followers by the end of this year. Although she's no longer with us, we can show up. We need you now. If you can follow or have someone else, follow, share, like. I encourage you to reach down deep in your spirit. Get the word out. We need to get to 50K. There's a resurrection amongst us.